Hi everyone, my name is Jay Moore, and I am the founder of The Ordinary Christian. I'm glad that you have decided to check us out and to see what we're all about. Throughout the course of my ministry, God has used me to encourage His people who are not professional ministers to become actively involved in what He is doing and to live an intentional missional life. You see, many people don't realize it, but God has made a career out of taking ordinary Christians and using them to do some pretty extraordinary things. As a matter of fact, there is a movement of God going on right now here in North America where God is raising up, training up, and unleashing an army of ordinary Christians to go out and accomplish His amazing work. And I want to make sure that you're part of that movement of God, that you catch that next wave of the movement of God for North America. And personally, I am grateful to God because North America desperately needs a fresh touch from God. We desperately need to experience a new movement of God in North America. Let me explain why. North America is now the third largest unchurched nation in the world. We're third only to China and India. China being communist, India's major religion is Hindu. We are the third largest to them. They rank number 1 and 2. The difference between North America and China or India is that the percentage of Christians in China and India is growing, whereas the percentage of Christians in North America is declining. At this present time, North America is the only continent in the entire world where the percentage of Christians are in decline. That means every other continent on the earth, Africa, South America, Europe, Asia, Middle East, they're all growing. The percentage of Christians are growing, but in North America, we're in a decline. It is estimated that the population of North America is somewhere around 323 million people and growing every day. It is also estimated that approximately 226 million of them are lost, unreached, and going to hell. You see, if these trends continue in the next few decades, North America will quickly become the largest mission field in the entire world. Think about it. North America, where all the great revivals broke out, the largest mission field in the world. So as you can see, there is a tremendous need for God's touch, a tremendous need for God to have a movement come to North America. And the good news is He has already begun to do it through you, through ordinary Christians just like you. You see, that's why I formed the Ordinary Christian Group. It is an effort on my part to join God in His obvious activity of raising up ordinary Christians to live an intentional, missional life for His glory. The purpose of the Ordinary Christian Group is simply to empower, encourage, and equip ordinary Christians to live that intentional, missional life that Christ has called us to. We exist to help raise up, train up, and unleash these ordinary Christians back into the dark world from which they came and shine the light of Christ. One of the ways that we accomplish that purpose is through a weekly missional devotionals. Once a week, we send out a video devotion designed to encourage, empower, or equip God's Christians to be faithful in shining His light that week. At the most, they're only about 5 minutes in length, but even though that they're short, they're powerful. Powerful in the sense that they will help you keep your focus on the main thing being the light of the world. And here's the best part of it. It's free. That's right, free. Costs you nothing, not 1 cent. You don't have to leave a credit card number, nothing. You see, the only reason we are producing these videos is simply to encourage you to do what God has created you to do. And that is to shine His light back into this dark world. In a little bit, I'm going to share with you how you can make sure that you are on the emailing list to get those devotionals each week. But I'm sure that right about now there are some of you who are thinking to yourself or asking yourself, why is Jay doing this? Why is he putting so much time and effort into encouraging a bunch of ordinary Christians to live this intentional life for Christ? And my answer is simply this. Because of a personal, experience I have had in my own life that has shown me how urgent it is for all ordinary Christians to shine the light of Christ. You see, it was during my freshman year in college. Well, I was watching TV and out having dinner with some friends at an apartment. We were going to watch TV. We were going to have food. We were going to play some games. And while the food was being prepared, I was sitting there watching the TV, and I saw a news report flash on the television screen that said, that talked about the last victim of the Hillside Strangler. The news reporter said this: just in, the latest victim of the Hillside Strangler was found. Her name is Lauren Wagner. And then they flashed a big picture of her on the television screen. After that, I have no memory of what the newscaster said, because immediately upon hearing her name and seeing her picture, my thoughts were immediately transported back several months earlier when I was a senior in high school working for Taco Bell, and Lauren Wagner was one of my coworkers. I remember that she was a cute, funny, full of life girl. And at that particular time in my life, I really wasn't trying to live for Christ. I had been raised a pastor's kid. I am a preacher's kid and been made fun of. And as a teenager in high school, I was trying to downplay that part of my life. I didn't really want people to know it, so I was trying to go under the radar of being a Christian, not wanting my friends to think that I was some kind of weird religious fanatic or Jesus freak. I remember one night while Lauren and I were working together that I got up enough courage to ask her if sometime she would like to go out with me. The conversation that followed is the moment in time that the Holy Spirit has seared into my memory and into my heart. When I asked her if she would like to go out sometime, Lauren said to me, "Well, sure, on one condition." "One condition?" I asked. "And what condition is that?" "On the condition that you promise never to talk to me about that Jesus crap." That's what she said. She had heard that I was a preacher's kid. She heard that I went to church, and she didn't want to hear anything about God. Now, it wasn't the fact that she said to never talk to her about Jesus that weighs heavy on my heart. It was my response back to her that will forever haunt me. You see, my response back to her was, "No problem. I wasn't going to tell you about him anyhow." And then several months later, as I'm hearing her name being spoken by that news reporter and seeing her picture on the television and knowing that she had just been brutally killed, those words that I said came rushing back to my mind. Words that I hadn't remembered, forgotten about saying until that very moment. My heart sank. My eyes began to well up with tears, and I was unable to speak. I had to leave the apartment. I couldn't stay in there. I was getting hot. I was getting nervous. My heart was pounding. And all I could hear going on over and over in my mind, like a broken record, were those words that I had said to her. I wasn't going to tell you about him anyhow. And you know what the worst part was? I really meant those words when I said them. Linda, my girlfriend, she had no idea what was going on. She rushed out after me, and then I told her the whole story. She just held me in her arms after that as I cried in shame and in horror of intentionally withholding from Lauren the light that had been entrusted to me. Even now, some 30 years later, as I'm saying these words on this video, my eyes tear up and my throat gets choked up, and I regret how self-centered I had been. Why was it so emotional for me? Well, obviously, because someone I knew very well had been viciously murdered. That's true, without a doubt, but it goes far deeper than that. As I heard my own words being replayed in my mind over and over again, the Holy Spirit convicted me that I had the opportunity to shine the light of Christ into Lauren's life, and I didn't take the opportunity to do it. Even worse, I intentionally chose to withhold that light from her because I was far more concerned about my worldly image than I was her eternal soul. And to this very day, I don't know if anyone else in this entire world has ever shared Jesus with her. But here's what I do know. I never did, and I wasn't intending to. As far as I know, I may be the only spiritual light that was made available to her, and I withheld it. Oh, how I wish I could go back to that exact moment in time and change what I said. But I can't. Here's what I did do right that night. That night, I drew a line in the sand and I stepped over it. That was the night that I made a decision that never again would I withhold the most precious gift from mankind. Never again would I choose my image over someone else's eternal soul. Never again would anybody have to wonder who I live for, who I breathe for. Never again would anyone doubt that I am a fully devoted follower of Jesus Christ. Never again. That's why I started The Ordinary Christian. That's why I'm doing these weekly missional devotionals. I'm doing this to encourage all of us who are God's children, who are ordinary Christians, to shine our lights back into this dark world so that others who are still lost in the darkness can see that light and find their way to Christ. God doesn't want to just use me to shine His light. He wants to use all of His children to shine. So here's what I want you to do. I want to encourage you to get off your butt and shine the light of Christ that's been entrusted to you. I want to encourage you to be intentional about shining that light of Christ to others. You know, who you work with, people you live around, to your family. I want to encourage you to get the weekly missional devotionals so that you can get focused for the week in shining your light brightly for Christ. Take a few moments. Give me your name and your email address so I can start sending you those devotionals each and every Monday. Remember, they're free and you have nothing to lose. But you just may be empowered or encouraged and even equipped to shine the light of Christ just a little brighter than you have ever shined it before. Inside this webpage, there's a box. It says your name and email address. Put in your name, put in your email address, hit send, and you're going to immediately put on the mailing list and start receiving those weekly videos, missional devotionals, so you can be encouraged. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and fill it out. Give me your name. Start getting the devotionals. I'd appreciate it if you would do me one more favor, though. I need your help in spreading the word about these devotionals to other Christians who might be encouraged by them. You can do this real simply by pushing the like button, the Facebook like button down there, or hitting the Google Plus button down there. Both of those will share this link to your friends on Facebook, through your Google Plus account. But also, if you could possibly even copy and paste this address and send it in an email to your Christian friends that you know could be encouraged to live that intentional missional life. Your help would be greatly appreciated. I thank you for your time. Take care, and God bless you. And remember this: go out and shine the light of Christ.